Yo, bro, who got you smiling like that? Like,
kill the lights, so baby, close your eyes. The way you're looking at me, you got me mesmerized. Something I can't escape.
My man said Jeffrey Dahmer, but make it fashion. We're starting off with a story that's going to give you even more hope today. Beautiful women speaking up against tyrannical government overreach? Oh yes, cue Victoria's Secret Angel Edition. There's an update on that joke of a reality show I told you about, The Activist. Al Sharpton is ganging up on Nicki Minaj, and bonus stories you need to know with Hot Take Tuesday. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Nicki Minaj told us that 80% of celebrities probably feel the same way she does about the JABBA juice. Maybe she's right, because Gisele Bündchen is defending another Victoria's Secret model, Dootson Cruz, over her choice to not get the Jabba the Hutt.
I have always thought Victoria's Secrets, they should sell britches.
Dootson, who's Dutch, a mom, and totally gorgeous, was a Victoria's Secret angel from 2008 to 2014, and she's also been in several Justice League movies. Moms really can rule the world. Anyway, Dootson said, "I will not be forced to take the juice. I will not be forced to prove my health to participate in society. I will not accept exclusion of people based on their medical status. Freedom of speech is a right worth fighting for, but we can only solve this united in peace and love."
This is a serious message to everybody watching my update right now. Peace and love, peace and love.
Obviously, this post made the Branch Covidians pop a gasket, so Gisele Bündchen actually stepped in to defend Dootson. She commented on the post, "I know Dootson and she is a kind and loving person. I can't believe the hate being directed at her because she expressed her feelings. It saddens me to see all the judgment and the lack of empathy in so many people's hearts. Hate is not the answer."
Pull up on me. Pull up on me. Pull up, pull up on me.
What's really eye-opening is how hard it is to say these women's names. Good grief. No, what's really eye-opening is that in a truly free society, what Dootson said is not controversial. We're just no longer a free society. George Orwell said that in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. People like Dootson and Nicki Minaj are leading a revolution. They just don't realize it yet. And sadly, not all of their fans seem to realize it either.
Your dictatorship is about to come to an end. Woo!
It wasn't just the right who made fun of CBS for their new reality show idea called The Activist. It was the left, too.
what is it like where you come from?
People accuse CBS of being so out of touch and offensive for this show that they've scrapped the whole thing now and are just going to release a documentary instead. The Activists canceled The Activists when life imitates art, am I right?
You know, I know what you're doing right now, and I don't like it. So why don't you just shut your trap before I put my foot in it?
I guess they were supposed to have missions and challenges on the show. I just really want to know what those were going to be. Would they get dropped off in the middle of an Antifa riot and see if they could make it out unharmed? Would Michael Brown's mom make an appearance? What about Meghan Markle? Oh, and you know Greta Thornberry was going to show up in one of the first 2 episodes.
Popularity of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below.
The entire concept for the show is proof of progressive privilege. What is progressive privilege? It's celebrities and leftists who love making problems so that they can solve them and become a hero because they're so desperate to be a part of change.
And I'm left out.
Hollywood needs to get a reality check and realize that social media whining is a microcosm of society. Stop making decisions based on Twitter trends, which represent a tiny subset of Americans. Most Americans aren't even on Twitter. At this point, the only activist I want is one that's willing to push back against big government and tyrannical overreach. Everything else is small potatoes.
Potatoes?
They should have cast me. I'm an activist. A hot people rights activist.
Hey. I just want to take another look at you.
Speaking of activists, you know who Al Sharpton is, right? He's like the OG of the activist of the activists.
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT.
Yeah, that guy. He's been around for decades and went on MSNBC to chastise Nicki Minaj after she called out Joy Reid for calling her out.
To name call Joy Reid, someone that I've known and have seen even before she came to this station. I'm not saying this because she's a colleague. I knew her in black radio in Florida 20 years ago, and she's put her career neck on the line to cover stories and bring things mainstream. That's across the line. I think that if people want to raise questions, fine, but leave the name calling out of it, particularly someone that has had in my opinion, the model example of journalism that Joy-Ann Reid has. There are two black women that have got to the top of their field. We don't need name calling. We need solutions as we see disproportionate people die in our communities and in every community in the country.
Does believing all women not extend to when women talk about any of their personal experiences? He said Joy Reid is the model example of journalism. Another question for you. Isn't the #1 indicator of a true journalist someone who puts the truth above all else? Joy Reid has still refused to tell the truth about homophobic posts made years ago on her blog. She claims she was hacked. Joy, you're the hack.
How original.
Nicki Minaj seems like more of a model journalist to me because she's willing to investigate and ask questions, which is at the heart of true journalism, is it not?
Will you be my Katie Couric?
Tap the heart button on this episode to support POPlitics. By the way, I have to tell you how much fun it has been reading your reactions and your reviews for the first episode of my new podcast, The Spill, over the last few days. Much love.
Thank you, America, and God bless you all!
The first episode with Luby's massacre survivor Susanna Hupp is out if you somehow missed all that. And all you gotta do is just search for The Spillover on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. This Friday, we're gonna be diving into the phenomenon of teen girls coming out as transgender. Any guesses who that guest will be? Let me know in the comments. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Hot Take Tuesday, which means I run through some bonus stories that you need to know very fast and very furious.
Hot Take Tuesday.
A Russian chess champ named Nana something, another name I can't pronounce, is suing Netflix for defamation over the Queen's Gambit series because in the series finale, they mention her by name and basically say that she's a real person, but not as impressive as the character Beth because she never competed against a man, which in reality isn't true. In reality, this Nana chick beat some of the best male chess players in the world and was the first woman in history to achieve the status of international chess grandmaster among men, according to Breitbart.
12-го чемпиона мира по шахматам, международного гроссмейстера, заслуженного мастера спорта СССР Анатолия Карпова.
If they would have used a fake name, I feel like that would have been fine, but the problem is that they used her real name and then said something that wasn't true. By the way, the Queen's Gambit won 11 Emmys over the weekend.
Nothing can compensate for the long hours, low pay, and miserable experience we've had making this movie.
One of the greatest heartbreaks of my life has been Mary Kate and Ashley disappearing from public life. They were the fashion icons that shaped my childhood. I miss them.
We need a vacation.
We rarely ever see or hear anything about them now, but there's a neat update on Mary Kate. She does fancy equestrian competitions, and Page 6 reported that at the Longines Global Champions Tour in Rome on Saturday, she ranked 3rd place for her competitive show jumping. Angelina Jolie met with Michaela Maroney and Aly Raisman and several other gymnasts in D.C. after they testified against the FBI for botching their sexual abuse case against Larry Nassar. Angelina said that she was on Capitol Hill to meet with senators about the Violence Against Women Act reauthorization and FBI reforms. Even if I don't agree, and I definitely don't, with Angelina on every policy she advocates for, I do really admire that she actually shows up and puts in meaningful work behind the causes she believes in. She doesn't just post stupid hashtags on her Instagram story and think that that's delivering justice. I think she deserves a lot of respect for that. Respect her.
RESPICT.
Last and certainly least, Black Lives Matter is going to protest a restaurant in NYC that denied service to a black woman because she didn't have her Jabba the Hutt proof. It's all come full circle, people.
Well, well, well. How the turntables
Support POPlitics and her cooler older sister, The Spillover, by liking this episode, subscribing, and leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Leave a little bikini emoji in the comments if you support the former Victoria's Secret angel speaking out, and DM the show to someone who loved Mary Kate and Ashley growing up. And don't forget to also tell me in the comments who you think the guest on The Spillover is going to be on Friday. We're back on Instagram tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics.